Did you know? You. Did you know that 10% of high school females report domestic violence some point during their high school career in South Carolina? 10%. And that's only those that report it. Did you know that 11% of these students, female students in South Carolina, report sexual assault by a significant other in South Carolina? Did you know that 42% of South Carolina women and 29% of men of all ages experience domestic violence at least once in their lifetime? Think about it. South Carolina is one of the worst when it comes to domestic violence statistics in the nation. And one thing I will say is it got a little bit to do with the law. Just a little bit to do with the law. So, first of all, we're talking about high school students, teenagers, right? In this day and age, the red flags are considered love. So this is where it comes to parents and teachers monitoring what is said and monitoring what is done, what is seen, social media, internet, TV, movies. We need to watch our children and what they're absorbing. But more than that, because now we're in high school, so you really can't monitor me as much as you think you can. We just need to start young and start teaching our children what abuse is and what abuse isn't, what the red flags are, how they should be treated, and how they should not. We teach our children their worth and what love looks like, and we could probably curve this thing a little bit. Now, anyways, we were talking about the law. So, South Carolina does have a couple of laws. One of the laws is the Protection from Domestic Abuse Act. And that is currently an act that protects like wives and husbands, former spouses, their children, or other family members that live in the same household. So the Protection from Domestic Abuse Act of South Carolina protects households or former households. So, for example, if your husband and you divorce and he moves out, you're still protected under that act. So basically, the protection that it's talking about is emergency protective orders. You don't need a lawyer for a protective order. Really, all you need to do is go to the clerk of courts and file a protective order. The key is to do it where your abuser lives. So if you're in such and such county and he's in a whole nother county, you need to go to that whole nother county to report, not report, but to file for emergency protective order. Flaw number one. Why do I have to go to my abuser's hometown or wherever he's living, the state of residence, the place of residence? Why do I have to go to the abuser's location to file for a protective order? That is putting people in danger. It's like walking towards the monster. It's not really a smart decision. But anyways, also, if you don't know where your abuser lives, then you can file it where you are, which is fine. But that's only if you don't know where he is. Okay. The next thing is you have to be divorced within 6 months in order to get like an extended amount of time. So they'll grant your protective order for up to 6 months without a divorce. But after that 6 months, they will reject the filing for an extension if you're not divorced by then. Now, if you're in the process of a divorce, then by all means do what you do, but it is imperative that that is one of the first things that you do. And I understand why they do that. They want you to prove that you're done, because people do go back. So cool. In order to prove, you do need evidence, so make sure you keep photos, make sure you keep text messages, make sure you keep call logs, make sure you write everything down, take pictures, and take them to court when you file for this EPO. If you're abused while there is a standing protective order, the abuser will be charged with domestic violence of a high and aggravated nature, which means worse charges, worse penalties. This is probably the worst it'll get for the abuser. It's kind of like being a habitual offender. This person has a protective order and you want to do something to her. Okay, watch this. We're gonna put you under the jail. So cool. Now, I want to go back to that Protection Act. In South Carolina, dating violence is not covered under domestic abuse laws in South Carolina, which kind of excludes teenagers and young adults from that. A lot of people are not getting married. A lot of people are not living together. So if that person is not included in your household and you don't live with that person, that's not domestic abuse according to South Carolina. And you cannot file for an emergency protective order. That law specifically tells you who can and who cannot be protected by the court system if they're in an abusive relationship. And that sucks. That sucks. Law fails a lot of South Carolinians. Right there. And South Carolina is not the only state that does that. It's just that that's the state that we're highlighting right now. But we'll get into it. That might also have a reason for why South Carolina statistics are so crazy. Because if you're abusing me, I'm not marrying you. Or some men don't even want to get married. The culture that we're in right now, people aren't getting married. They're just not getting married. Like, so it is what it is. But anyway, shout out to Representative Beth Bernstein. Representative Beth Bernstein of Richland County, South Carolina. If I butchered your name, baby girl, I'm so sorry. But anyways, she has proposed a bill as of 2023 to include dating violence after hearing teenagers testify about the domestic violence that they have suffered. And Representative Bernstein, she recognizes that this is not okay, and maybe if protective orders could be given to people that are just dating, then it puts us a step in the right direction. And I believe that this representative of Richland County is absolutely correct. And we need to do what we need to do. So stay tuned. Probably be dropping another video tomorrow. Um, it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So, y'all, stay safe. If anybody that you know is going through domestic violence, please call the national hotline for domestic violence at 800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-SAFE. And then the Safe Passage hotline in South Carolina is 1-800-659-0977. Again, that number is 800-659-0977. Stay safe. I love you guys. See you in the next video.